So John was walking around the PPG this weekend, and he was relaying information to me, and I got something interesting sent to me, and it was, Robbie, there's a spaceship deck here, and you guys have no idea how fast I went, make him send me his list! And I was, oh my god, I was so happy to see this. Now, this list is mainly going to be used as a referencing point, because it has been a long time since I have gotten the chance to talk about spaceships. And when Limiter came off the list, I actually made, in the metagame discussion, I did an entire chunk talking about saying, oh yeah, like, you can bet your ass that spaceships could be a competitive deck. And then the tumbleweeds just rolled in, and the deck was never seen again. Well, actually, we actually got David Strand over here to send us his list, and oh, thank you for making spaceships great again. It's been a long time, and for those of you that have forgotten about spaceships, no, this isn't fucking BS control. This is ye old. We're going to use Blue Thunder T45, Fallacium Blue, fucking Lord British, and Victory Viper XX03. And we're going to destroy stuff, and we're going to get some effects based on destroying cards by battle. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. Spaceship technology is back. Now I looking at the extra deck, looking at the deck a little bit, there could be things that we could possibly change, alright? You have to remember, you're essentially a battle deck, alright? Like, I can't tell you how long it's been since I've seen Honest at 3 and Limit Removal at 3 in the same... It's like it's been a format, right? So to see all of the favorite cards that I've known and loved back in one format, you can't just help but not want to draw over this. So, whole concept of the deck, Kaiju over your opponent's monster, then use your many spaceships to generate some sort of advantage. Now, as you can tell, this build is literally built to be a going second deck. Alright, like, call it what it is. Like, yes, you are going to have to go second in order to do these plays that you want to do. So, before you start getting angsty and you're like, oh, like, this deck looks bad. No, it's not bad. It's just, this is kind of what you have to do with spaceships. You have to let your opponent do their thing, and then you have to take your old normal summon and kind of attempt to play the game. Because, like, if you can't do that, you're going to have a bad time. Right? That's how this works. So, this is David Strand's fucking spaceship deck. So, we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom. Honestly, looking at this, 3 might be a little bit too much. You don't really get a lot of room in here for hand traps, actually. Coming to think about it, like, maybe you could adjust some things, but it's a possibility. Alright, we play triple copies of Blue Thunder T45. This card destroys an opponent's monster by battle. Special summon 1 Thunder option token. Machine type, light, level 4, attack 1500, defense 1500. That token cannot be tributed for a tribute summon. This is back before the day of when we weren't able to abuse things. This also comes in at a strong 1700. God, that's pathetic. So bad. But it is a light, and it is a machine. So if we can slam this, get some token generation, and things like that, we can start doing some crazy cool plays. It's actually why I like this deck. It's all because of T45. Now, once again on the hand traps, we are playing 2 copies of Effect Veiler. I think it is very important to note that while hand traps are needed in this format, they might not be so great in a deck like this. So yes, you do need cards to be able to get the game back to your turn and subtly disrupt your opponent. I think 2 Veiler and 2 copies of Ash Blossom were definitely the way to go. Now, we do play triple copies of Fallacion or Falchion. So, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, activate one of these effects. So you can send a light machine type monster with 1200 or less attack from your deck to your graveyard. So this does grant you an essential Foolish Bro. Or, you can target 1 light machine type monster with 1200 or less attack in your graveyard and special summon it. Now, after 2 turns, one of dumping one into the graveyard, then another one of reviving it. I mean, you can get there. Or, you know, you have Lord British that you can revive, or Victory Viper as well. So, I mean, you have you have choices. So, we're also playing 2 copies of Godarla. I understand the way that we've done our kaijus here. We definitely want to have kaijus that we can draw, that we can battle over other monsters. So, I mean, like, the spread that we've got going here is really good for that. Now, you have to maximize on Triple Honest. I'm going to be honest with you, God, no puns intended. This is a card that you're going to need for your light battles. This is going to be the thing that you absorb the amount of damage. This plus multiple honest plus a limit removal, you're probably going to kill your opponent. It's just, the deck is literally just how many honest can you pocket at one time to OTK your opponent. This is our weakest kaiju. Obviously, I thought about Gamma Seal when looking at this, but I understand that once that Gamma Seal goes to defense mode, you're just going to have more of an issue. Now we are playing triple copies of Lord British Space Fighter. This card destroys its opponent's monster by battle. You can select and activate one of these effects. So you can have this card attack once again in a row, or you can destroy one set card on the field, or you can special summon one multi-token, machine type, light, level 4 attack, 1200 attack, 1200 defense. So it literally just copies itself when it makes token, or you get that extra attack. I mean, hey, if this is 2400 and you can make it swing again directly, or if you've got this attacking directly and you've got double honest in hand, like, oh my god, like the actual damage, like this can OTK somebody. It's actually kind of crazy. Now we are playing 2 copies of the Thunder Strike Kaiju. This is going to be our biggest Kaiju that we're going to have options for, and I do think, like I said, I think the Kaiju spread is actually correct here. Now we are playing triple copies of Victory Viper at double XO3. So this card destroys opponent's monster by battle. You get to activate one of these effects. You can make this card gain 400 attack. You target one face-up spell and trap card on the field, destroy that card, and special summon an option token. Its type, attribute, level, attack, and defense are always the same as this card's. But it leaves the field if this card is no longer face-up on the field. That restriction kind of sucks. I understand why they put it on there, because like the way they worded it, it always mirrors this card. I think that's fine. But, I mean, hey, if you can start getting over by battle and start generating more tokens and more advantage and more attack on this guy, I will say that that is quite useful. Now, spells. We have 2 copies of Called by the Grave. Hand traps, I don't know if they really hurt this deck, per se. I would like to see possibly some extravaganzas in here for draw power. Same thing with desires. Because, I mean, hand traps don't really hurt this deck, but I like drawing in to my resources to kill my opponent, right? Then, of course, we have Triple Interrupt Kaiju Slumber, probably the best card in this deck. This give our opponent the Kaiju, start triggering our ships via effects. Yeah, seems really good to me. Now, we have triple copies of Limit Removal. As I said, this is our OTK card in the deck paired with Honest. Oh, God, that's disgusting. Like, actually. 1 copy of Monster Reborn, bring back a Kaiju, bring back an Honest, bounce back to our hands. Pretty good. Then we have triple copies of Moon Mirror Shield. Putting this on a ship that will always be able to get over something is actually really fucking good. Because no matter the situation, like if your opponent has to force a battle on a ship, your ship's always going to be bigger, so your opponent can't actually out it very easily. We did it. Now, of course, we have triple evenly matched, as I discussed, your going second deck. You need to have a means to play the game. And then, of course, we only have 1 infinite impermanence in here. Now, the extra deck, so what I was talking about, we could see extravagances, but I believe this deck was built on a budget. So we have 5 cards in the extra deck you can work with. We do have 2 copies of Cleve 4 Genius, literally 2 machines we get in here. Literally any of these tokens that these guys make, we can get there. 1 copy of Platinum Gadget. We have 1 copy of Borrelode Dragon. 2 copies of Baguski. 1 copy of Evil Swarm Ouroboros. 2 copies of Exton Knight. I mean, the whole game where you're just playing down, your opponent puts their whole board on the field, like, you can just board wipe it for free. Like, we did it. We have 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. Side deck here, we have 2 copies of DD Crow, 2 copies of Prankatops, 1 copy of Ghost Spell, 2 copies of Enemy Control. Actually, this is pretty decent. We have 2 copies of Forbidden Chalice. Anything that your opponent might view as a threat to you, you can actually out with Chalice. We have 2 copies of Silent Graveyard. Discard a card. The effects that activate in the graveyard this turn are negated. Quick play. I hate the discard costumes, but I understand why we play it. We have 2 copies of Twin Twister and 2 copies of Phoenix Wing Blast. Wrapping up this deck. So I'm super excited to see that Spaceships got the chance to come out and play. Granted, it might not have been the best showing in the world for the deck. This is a basis for us to start rebuilding the forbidden technology that has been lost over the 7, 8 years at this point. So what do you guys think about the deck? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And once again, David, congratulations, buddy. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.